Morning, Mr. Troon.
Morning, Nora.
Many letters for the baby?
Not too many for a young lady on the verge of her coming out party. It's only 2 months from now. Invitations, solicitations, applications.
Oh, you do know a grand lot of words, Mr. Troon.
I know some words that you'll never be privileged to hear, Nora. I have served in the British Army. Mr. Stanhope not having his breakfast this morning?
Mrs. Stanhope does not think it advisable.
Let them share their name and their bank account. The privacy of the stomach is a one's birthright. Mrs. Stanhope is having breakfast.
Bonjour, Monsieur Troon.
Bonjour, Louise.
Good morning, Nora. The same to you, mademoiselle. Can I have Miss Joy's letters now?
Oh, but Madame has to say it first.
True, they have not yet passed the maternal censorship.
I don't see why Mrs. Stanhope has to look them over first. The baby isn't receiving any letters she shouldn't. You must wake up, baby. You've got a full day.
It's only 11.
It doesn't make any difference. You must wake up.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. Your letters,
Thank
mademoiselle.
you.
Your mama ordered the limousine for 12 o'clock, mademoiselle.
Thank you, Louise. Almost ambassador gives me the crazy. Hello? Peggy, darling, I'm so glad you called. Huh? Were you there last night? Tell me what happened. He did.
Eat that toast. Eat that toast.
Peggy. Hung up on me.
Well, you can't expect to talk all day and not eat anything.
Noni. Get me Emperor Jones.
You can't see him now, baby. Your mother wants you dressed early.
Go on. I'll eat my breakfast while you're gone.
Oh, you always get your way.
Hello, darling. Well, it's the first minute I've had alone in ages. Tell me you've missed me. Tell me again. Wait. Someone's coming, darling. Good morning. Here, there's a ball. Come on, play. Come on. Here it is.
Good morning, my dear. What time did you get home last night?
Morning, Mommy.
I hear you wore long earrings again. Now hurry and dress. You must see your father before he leaves the house.
What about?
Why, about your party, of course. You must ask him for the money. He hasn't heard as much on that subject from you as he has from me.
All right, Mommy, I'll tackle him.
I have to order your frock and see Miss Vanderbilt. Now, I'll dress. Meet you downstairs in a few minutes. Now, hurry, my dear.
True, is Daddy in a good humor this morning?
Not too good, miss. He was deprived of his breakfast.
Oh, shucks, I've got to make a touch.
I've just taken the liberty of ordering him a wee snack.
You old angel. True. Got anything for me?
It's the last time, miss, I'll act as your private postbox. You'll get no more letters out of me, and you'll drop no more in.
Oh, but True, These letters are from the grandest, sweetest boy in the whole world.
Aye, but your father and mother don't know him, miss. And if you'll pardon me, I don't know him myself.
Now, Troon, you're not going to let me down.
No, miss, I've got a wee daughter of mine away at school in Scotland.
She's years younger than I am.
I'm thinking of your own good, Miss Joy. Do you remember when I first came here? Oh, you were just 9 years old.
Was I cute, Troon?
Very cute, miss. Do you mind the day you'd been out skating in Central Park and you fell down and cut your wee self? They brought you home and telephoned for a doctor. But I bandaged your cut before he could arrive.
You've been bandaging them ever since, Troon. Oh, is that Daddy's breakfast?
Just give me 2 minutes with your father, miss. Gentlemen are always susceptible to the aroma of broiled kidneys. I thought, sir, that as you hadn't had any breakfast, this snack wouldn't do you any harm.
Oh, not kidneys.
Aye, sir. Kidneys.
Troon.
Sir?
Like to see the photograph of a beauty?
I'm very susceptible to beauty, sir.
Look at that. And I don't mind telling you that she's costing me a pretty penny.
I can well believe it, sir.
How's your new flame, Daddy?
Rabbit, come here if you want to see something pretty.
That's marvelous. She's a pip, Daddy.
That's just what I said, miss.
Yes.
Daddy, I'm jealous of that old Betsy Ross.
All right, Rabbit. What's the touch for this time? I suppose you simply can't exist without an ermine coat this winter.
Daddy, what mild ideas you have. Do you realize your daughter's a debutante?
Good heavens.
And how can anybody be a debutante without having a debut?
Yes, your mother's been mentioning that to me off and on ever since you were born.
Daddy, you're so beautiful.
No,
I'm going to be so proud of you when I stand at the head of the stairs and introduce you to all my friends. I'll say, look at him. He's been a lot of trouble to me, but he was worth it.
Monkey.
I love you so.
How much?
Oceans.
I mean, how much is this debut going to cost? Say, 20,000?
What? Don't be silly.
All right, then. 25,000.
For your only daughter?
30,000?
Now, Daddy, what would people think, you being so mingy?
Not 1 cent over 50,000, not 1 cent.
Oh, darling, you're so sweet. Thank you.
There, now you run along. Let me eat my breakfast.
Thank you, Daddy. Bye, darling.
Bye.
Mrs. Stanhope and I are leaving for Washington tonight. Miss Joy is going to a dance at Sands Point.
Very good, madam.
Did you see him, my dear?
Yes, everything's fixed. But, Mother, I wonder if it's really so important. Don't you think it's just a little bit silly?
Silly? Oh, what do you mean, Joy?
This business of being formally presented to people I've known all my life. Why do I have to be launched like a battleship with champagne and bands and crowds cheering and things?
Are you quite well this morning, dear? Come along.
Thank you,
We
Nora.
must get started.
Can you tell me when your daughter's coming out? I will take place at the
In
Stanhope.
about 2 months, it'll be announced in due course.
Has the exact date been set? Will it be at home or at a hotel? Who'll supply the music? How will it be decorated? How many guests will it be? I ought to get 6 months for talking to myself. All right.
Well, Joy, darling, we have quite a busy day today.
Mind if we stop by the league first?
No, dear.
Junior League, Roberts.
Don't be late, dear. Meet me at Miss Vanderdoe's at 3.
Yes, Mommy. Taxi, please.
Yes, miss.
Why, Joy, don't tell me you're actually coming to a meeting.
Your taxi is here, Miss Stanhope.
Oh, thank you. Bye-bye, Jane. West 59th, about a block from the river. Hurry. Any fish today?
Joy. What are you doing here?
Came to see your view, of course. Majestic city, New York. Symmetric skylines. You angry with me?
Yes. I told you before I didn't want you to come up here. Ever.
Oh, but, darling, I just had to see you. Can't you ever forgive me?
No.
And I'll do it again, often.
Excuse me.
Oh, go right ahead with what you were doing. Just pretend I'm not even here. Are you going to kiss me, or are you?
I am not. Joy, I meant it when I said I didn't want you to come up here.
What difference does it make? No one saw me come in. Besides, it's the only place we can meet now. My debut's been announced for December 20th, and Mother has all Scotland Yard on my trail. As for reporters, getting in my hair. We'll sort of have to lay low till it's over.
Which bank was it we robbed?
Now, sweetheart, try to understand. And don't look at me through your teeth. Have a tale of marvelous teeth you have?
Listen, Joy. It's because I love you that I'm making such a fuss about your coming up here. Movies, bus tops, concerts from the gallery seats. That was safer, darling. We were together, but never quite alone like this.
So young to be a missionary.
Ah, well, that's all very well for you to talk, my child. But you must remember, I am 4 years older than you are. I know life.
And I know you.
I wonder if you do. I'm probably a more serious guy than anyone you've ever met before. I've had to be. My parents landed here from Sweden without even matches. The only playing I've ever done has been on the violin.
And I'm glad.
So was I. Till I suddenly found myself up to the ears in a new sensation. Love is the word that lyric writers use for it.
Well, why so blue about it?
Because the girl happens to be a princess of Park Avenue.
She happens to love you more than anyone here or any place.
It isn't as simple as all that, darling. You can't just see things in windows, have them charged and sent home always, dear. You know what your father would think of me as a member of the family? I'd be just a fiddler in a jazz band to him. But what a difference it would make if I had a reputation. What a difference to him. And to us. That's why I spend all my spare time practicing. If I only had the chance to get out before the world with my violin and play something. Something else besides shuffle off to Buffalo.
Very well, Fritz Chrysler. How's about seeing me tonight, How about it?
I've got to play with Harry's Happy Hummingbirds tonight.
Well, the family's going to Washington, and I'm supposed to go to Sands Point. But I don't want to go to Sands Point. If I cut Sands Point, will you tell Harry your fiddle has a cold?
All right, said he, weakening. But not in my hunting lodge.
Well, then, Grand Central, Track 9.
8 o'clock. Now get out and let me work.
You know something?
What?
I think you have big ears.
All the better to hear you say goodbye with.
Haven't you forgotten something this morning, Egbert Jones?
Oh, nothing important, Mrs. Jones. I never wanted to love anyone this much.
Neither did I. Mr. Jones?
Now get out. Go on. You've interrupted me long enough. I'll see you tonight, track 9, Grand Central Station, 8 o'clock. So long.
Oh, Mr. Jones.
Get out.
1,000.
Paltry.
2,000.
Don't let's quibble.
3,000.
The vulgarity of this discussion is bringing on my neuralgia.
I'll give you 5,000 to get the night of December 20th for my daughter's debut.
I couldn't give you that date for all your husband's millions, Mrs. Newfield. It is being reserved by Mrs. Herbert Stanhope for 2 years.
Very well, then. I shall go to some other social secretary. You aren't the only one in New York.
I'm the only one capable of carrying on the torch of Mrs. Astor.
And getting a big rake-off.
And I earn it. It's one thing to supply you with eligible dancing men. It's another to know how to make them stay at your party. Invite them the night Joyce Stanhope is introduced to society, and they'll come to sample your champagne. But by midnight, you'll have an empty dancing floor.
What date can I have?
The 29th.
Mrs. Stanhope is here.
Show Mrs. Stanhope in. I have quite finished with Mrs. Newfield.
Now remember, I must have the cream of the social register.
You'll have to take some of the skim milk with it. Ada.
Joy not here yet? I told her to be prompt. I want your list for her coming out party. We're giving it at home, you know.
How wise. Anyone with a bank account can hire a ballroom.
I'm leaving all the tiresome details to you, Gertrude, except the orchestra. Joy wants Harry Gold's.
How many guests?
About 200 girls. I suppose that'll mean we'll need about 600 boys.
800 to 40, eh?
Isn't it too bad every boy isn't born triplets? Of course, I know parents do have boys, but what becomes of them when they're old enough to dance?
They're buried in prep schools and colleges, and I have to dig them up. Wow, I envy Chinese mothers. Entertaining can't be any problem for them. They drown their girls at birth.
Hello, Mommy.
Oh, there you are, darling.
How do you do, Miss Vanderbilt?
Oh, how you've grown, child.
Straighten your hat, darling.
It's not supposed to be worn straight.
I see you have Jimmy Wolverton's name on your list.
Oh, of course, we're counting on Jimmy.
Naturally. He's the most sought-after young man in New York. But, of course, you'll have no difficulty in getting him to Joy's debut.
No, Jimmy likes Father's liquor.
Oh, I think Jimmy likes Father's daughter.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wolverton.
Oh, Gertie. How about an audience with the Rabbi of Jazz?
He's busy now.
Well, all right, I'm in a hurry, but I'll wait.
All right.
Have you a match?
All right. Oh, how do you do, Mr. Wolverton?
Well, where have I seen you before?
In Mr. Stanhope's front hall, sir. I'm his butler.
Oh, yes, of course. How are you, Trune?
I'm very well, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, please, Harry. You must lend me the money to pay up. I simply daren't tell Uncle Alec. He'd murder me.
I will on one condition, Suzanne. That you promise never to play bridge again for more than 1/10 of a cent a point.
Oh, I promise. Here's your security.
I don't know. I always thought that men's jewelry was much more attractive to my particular style of beauty. I don't believe in any security with your sex.
Gosh, you're swell, Harry.
Don't worry, I'll get even. The next time your Uncle Alec hires an orchestra, he'll pay for 2 bassoons he'll never hear. Don't blot it.
Thank you.
You're next, Mr. Toon.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Troon, I don't think I've ever had the pleasure. Won't you have a seat?
Thank you.
What can I do for you?
I regard you, Mr. Gould, as the most discriminating orchestra leader in New York.
Why be so stingy? Why not say the whole world?
Even that would not be an exaggeration.
Thank you. Are you musical yourself, Mr. Troon?
In Scotland, I was considered so. Mr. Gould, you're neglecting a great instrument. You import tom-toms from Africa, castanets from Spain, goods from Cuba. In the name of bonny Scotland, why do you never imported the pipes?
Pipes? I don't smoke pipes.
No, man. Have you no heard tell of the bagpipes?
Oh, the bagpipes. Of course, I've heard of that. Yeah.
An instrument capable of expressing every emotion. From the mating call of the stag in the glen to the lament of a father for his son.
What's that?
No, that's remarkable. I shall need a little time to think this over.
Mr. Toole, with an armful of flutes.
I have a very great repertoire, Mr.
That's
Gold.
fine, and I want to hear every one of them.
Now, one of the
But
first...
not now, please. What else can I do for you?
There's one thing. Can you give us some information about a young man in your orchestra named Hanson?
My first violin? Well, what do you want to know about him?
Everything you can tell me.
Why all this interest?
Mr. Gold, I'll put all my cards on the table. I am Mr. Herbert Emerson Stanhope's butler.
Mr. Stanhope's butler? Ah, so that's what it is, snooping. Well, you can go back and tell Mr. Herbert Emerson Stanhope if he wants any information about anybody in my orchestra, he can come here himself. And take the bagpipes with you.
I'm not here on Mr. Stanhope's behalf.
No?
No, I'm here entirely on my own responsibility. And in the interests of somebody who's very near and very dear to my heart. And entirely without her knowledge.
Joy Stanhope?
Aye. Miss Joy.
Have a cigar?
No, thanks. Can I smoke my pipe?
Sure. So you're a friend of Miss Joy's, eh?
I hope that I may call myself that.
I don't know how you got in on this, but you look on the level, so here goes the lowdown. Chris Hansen is a real musician. He's got ambition, and he's going to go a long way. Why, he's worth any 50 of those Park Avenue pups that Miss Joy runs with. He's a good, clean boy, and he doesn't play around. Say, I ought to know. He came to me when he was a little kid. I gave him his first job.
But his family...
Wait a minute. He's got no family tree. His father was a music teacher in Sweden, and his mother, well, she was just a plain little human being. But he's nuts about Joy, and she'd have to go a long ways before she could find anyone like him. Is that enough?
You've lifted a great load from my mind. I shall continue with the letters.
What letters? Ah, never mind, I know.
What you've told me, Mr. Gold, has been a great relief to my conscience. Thank you.
Oh, don't mention it.
Good day, sir.
Good day. This way, please. Didn't you forget something?
No. Oh, aye, the pipe.
Oh, the bagpipe.
Aye, my pipe.
What a character.
You may go in, Mr. Wolverton.
Okay, honey. Hello, Harry, old man.
Oh, man, that sounds serious.
Oh, it's worse than that. Harry, I'm in a terrible spot.
Who is she this time?
An usherette.
Oh, a seat taker.
Say, listen, Harry, now you know no matter how plastered I get, I never promise to marry.
Uh-huh.
Now, you know me, Harry. I never give them that.
You give 'em plenty. Why don't you keep away from the poor working girls? The last check you gave was to a hatcher girl. And the check you gave was not for your hat.
Yeah, I know, but listen, Harry, see this kid for me, will you? You know how to talk to him. Look, there's her name and address. Give her some sense and this. Tell her to buy herself a ticket to, well, Niagara Falls ought to be far enough.
I think Egypt. I'll give her a letter to a sphinx.
Oh, you're a swell guy, Harry.
Sure.
Oh, say, that number you gave them up at Tate's, you know, that thing with the bells in it?
Uh-huh.
It was a honey.
Well, it was meant to be.
Thanks a lot, old man.
Okay.
I'll drop in on you later.
Sure.
See you about.
Don't hurry.
What?
I say, don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Jimmy, how nice to see you, my dear boy.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Stanhope. Hello, Joy.
Hello, Jimmy.
Oh, this is splendid. You can entertain Joy while I try to get 2 of Harry Gold's orchestras for the price of 1.
Well, now, don't forget to ask me to the big event.
I'll do better than that. You can take Joy to Mary's dance at Sands Point tonight.
But maybe Jimmy wasn't going, Mother.
I wasn't. But I will.
My husband and I are going to Washington. I feel so safe if I know she's with you.
Looks like a family reunion.
Family is right. Jimmy, do you really want to go to Sands Point tonight?
Anywhere with you, darling.
You don't think I want to cut nocturnal capers with a Wolverton, do you?
She used to be so kind to animals. Why, in dancing school, she even called me by name.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I forgot we were in a railway station. Doesn't a well-mannered train usually whistle before it pulls in? Coffee at 8, Joy.
Chris, I have terrible news for you. I have to break our date for tonight.
Oh. I was just going in to ask Harry to let me off tonight.
Darling, you don't know how sorry I am.
Oh, it's all right, Joy.
Are you furious with me?
No, it isn't that. Just that I'm a little bit jealous.
I want to see the most formal invitation you can engrave for his stand-up debut.
Would $5 each be formal enough?
That would be perfect. And by the way, you might mention to the accounting department that my commission has not been paid on the last order.
Very well.
I want you to plan a very recherché menu for the stand-up supper.
Chicken à la king, scrambled eggs.
Oh, something with a little more abandon, huh? Caviar, pheasant, entendu?
Oh, bien entendu, madame.
And by the way, you might mention to your accounting department that the commission on the last one...
Has not been paid. I'm sorry, madame.
Exactly. I'm counting on you, Mr. Green Valley, to design something lavish and unique for the stand-up party.
I have just the inspiration for you. An orgy of orchids.
And by the way...
The commission on the last one hasn't yet been paid.
Exactly. Baby, you must get dressed. Look at the time.
Right, Nori, I will be a minute.
Nora, you're going to stand point with Miss Joy.
Very well.
Hello, Mother. Why the honor?
Here's something I want you to have. Now.
Oh. They are beautiful, aren't they? Thank you, Mother.
You must realize that they're more than just pearls. My mother gave them to me before my own coming-out party. Tradition is a wonderful thing. The women in our family have always upheld it. Always made brilliant marriages in their own circle.
Mommy, would you be very disappointed if I didn't?
Couldn't possibly think of doing anything else, dear.
Happened before.
But not in our family. Besides, misalliances never turn out well. The woman always loses caste.
Well, Mother, is caste more important than happiness?
Oh, I shouldn't want you to be unhappy, dear. But it's a question of carrying out the fine traditions of our aristocracy.
Oh, aristocracy. Isn't there an aristocracy of people who do things? Great artists, writers, and musicians?
Oh, they're always such impossible people, dear. No one ever thinks of marrying them. Now, take a man like Jimmy Wolverton, who's been brought up in your own set, with your own standards. He'd never let you down.
Oh, Mommy, I don't want a marriage like that. I want to be madly, insanely in love with my husband.
Joy, whatever did you get such ideas? You're talking like a shop girl. Oh. That's all right, dear. I'll have them restrung. Jimmy's downstairs. Don't keep him waiting. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Have a good time.
I like my new submarine chaser. She can do 90 without even purring. Come on, let's get in. I'll open her up for you en route.
Some car, Jimmy.
Yeah, you just got it today.
Wait for Nora, Jimmy.
Nora? And this got us a speed?
Yes, but Mother...
Oh, we'll be home before she gets her head out of the mothballs.
Oh, Miss Joy! Miss Joy!
Well, by land, drove by sea. We galloped and galloped and galloped and galloped.
How tight are you?
Oh, about 4 fingers.
I figured both hands.
Well, give the devil his due. That's what I always say. That's what I say. Did I tell you this could do 90 without even getting out of breath?
I believe
Did
you.
I tell you? Oh, no, you don't. Not so quick. Gotta prove it. From Missouri, that's what I always say.
Why'd you tell me it would be like this? I'd have brought my skis.
Oh, poor little snow baby. She's so
Don't,
cold.
Jimmy, don't.
Jimmy don't like 'em cold. He likes to steam. Did I tell you this would do 90? Huh?
Listen, Mr. James P. Blue Toodle. You can't freeze me out without a struggle. I was about stopping at this roadhouse up here.
Sooner said than said.
Good evening, madam. Good evening, sir.
Hello. We want something to drink.
Perhaps you and the gentleman would like a private room?
Yes, the more private, the better.
That's what I always say. What's the matter? Think I can't walk?
In here, nobody will disturb you.
Say, when we come here before we came here, this beats Sands Point.
We'll come back to take the shop in order. Perhaps a little later.
Oh, no, take it right now. We're famished.
I don't want to drink. Joy is cold, needs a drink.
If you leave the supper to me, madame, I will arrange something very special.
Think I need a bodyguard?
Order anything you like, only plenty of coffee as soon as possible.
And I want a little drink. Just 2 fingers. Come on, Cobra Joy. Now there's a chance to get warm. Come on. So you're gonna get tough with me, eh?
No, Jimmy, let me alone.
Come on.
Jimmy! Stop it! Serves me right for having ditched Nora. Man in your own set with your own standards. He'd never let you down.
Miss Joy's late?
Oh, I don't know what's happening to that child nowadays. She's always late. What's that you've got there? Shillelagh?
No, it's a hockey stick.
Golf at your age?
Oh, I'm sending it home to Scotland to my wee daughter who's at school. By the way, did I show you the last photograph she sent me?
3 times.
Why don't you go to bed, Nora, and let me sit up for you?
No, thank you kindly. I've seen my baby safe in bed for 18 years, and I'm not going to stop now.
The coffee, madam.
I was just listening to the music.
That's one of Harry Gould's orchestras. Nothing too good for Aladdin's lamp.
Dug up. Joy! Oh, there you are. Joy, did I kill that bottle?
You tried to, but the bottle got the decision. Now get yourself together so we can get out of here. Here. This is only coffee, but it might do you some good.
Will there be anything more, sir?
Yes, but you're no drugstore.
Say, we didn't want to buy the joint. it's gone. My wallet's been stolen.
Oh, try another pocket, Jimmy. It must be someplace.
Tell you it's gone. Someone must have lifted it while I was, resting. Call the captain.
Oh, what a mess. I don't think I've got a cent.
Never mind, Joe. I can fix this.
What's your trouble?
Listen, Captain, I had $500 when I came into this room.
Oh, please, Jimmy. Write them a check and let's go.
Sorry, we don't take a check from strangers.
Oh, is that so? Well, my checks are accepted everywhere in New York. I'm James Wolverton III.
Yes, and I'm Umberto the Fourth.
Oh, come on, Joy. Let's get out of
If
here.
you don't pay the bill, I call the police.
Oh, go away. You're getting on my nerves.
You will live in this place. I told you. You can't go out without paying the bill, mister.
Go away. Don't bother me.
Chris.
Oh, you're here.
You know this lady and the gentleman, Mr. Hanson? They come in here, eat and drink in a private room, and now they will count on the bill.
I lost my wallet. I offered him a check.
His check's all right. He's James Wolverton III.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Mr. Wolverton, 10,000 pardon. Please, this way.
Chris, we're on our way to Sands Point and... Chris!
So this was your very special party.
But I want you to understand.
I understand. I understand what a fool I've been to waste my time on you.
Well, you must let me tell you. Listen.
No. You listen. You listen to what I've got to say. I was serious about you. You had me hooked, scalped, or any other word your moron friend used for sucker. I believed everything you said. I even believed lots of things you didn't say about the future, what we might be and do together. But you didn't want marriage, nah. All you wanted was a thrill. Well, you picked the wrong man. We don't belong on the same earth. You're part of one of the most useless groups that's ever existed. Well, get on with your coming out party. Get up on the auction block. Show your points. Love has no value to you. All you and your kind want is money. Well, go on and sell yourself to the highest bidder.
Been looking for you all night. It's all right. I'm sober now. I'll take you home.
Never mind getting out, Jimmy. I'll be all right. Good night.
Good night.
I had to come. I had to see you. I couldn't sleep until I'd explained about tonight.
You'd better go.
Not until you've listened to me. You've got to listen to me.
There isn't anything for you to say.
Oh, Chris, please believe me. I know you think I ditched you tonight to go to that roadhouse with Jimmy, but I didn't. We were on our way to Sands Point. Jimmy'd been drinking, and he was so drunk that I had to stop him or we'd have crashed. It's true, Chris.
It isn't just a night, Joy. It's more than that. Your whole life is like one long obligation. And after your debut, it'll be worse. 10 times worse. There'll be more and more Jimmy Wolvertons. More and more things to be done on account of the family. Now, you better see it, Joy. It isn't tonight's being true or not that matters. We're just not supposed to be, that's all.
You say all that because you don't believe me. You don't want to believe me. Well, it's easy for you to talk. You weren't born in a cage. You don't know what it is to be watched and guarded, to have other people think for you and feel for you. You're the only real thing I've ever had in my life, but you don't understand that. You don't understand anything about me because you've never really loved me.
Haven't I?
No.
Haven't I?
Oh, Chris. Chris, why are we like this? Why do we say angry things to each other? Try to hurt each other? isn't us, Chris. Say everything's going to be the same as before.
Everything's not the same. Everything's better. Much better. Joy, you're everything to me. All there is, darling. You're my whole ambition. Everything I am, everything I want to be. You've made me want it. I must succeed, and I will succeed, because that's what loving you is.
Oh, Chris. Chris, I love you so much. I don't seem to be Joy anymore.
I have called in person. With regard to a matter I do not care to discuss over the telephone.
You've been getting into trouble? At your age, Miss Vanderdoe?
I do not get into trouble. I merely experience annoyances. And one of them is that you have omitted to send me a check for my share in the $10,000 you are deriving from the Stanhope debut.
Oh, just a minute, Miss Vanderdoe. Mrs. Stanhope came directly to me. So this time, I don't owe any commission.
A gentleman does not owe. He feels an obligation.
I don't feel anything. And for 15%, I don't want to be a gentleman.
I fear that the mercenary spirit of the age has you in its grasp, Mr. Gold.
Well, in that respect, I think we're both very modern, Miss Vanderdoe.
You have no sense of noblesse oblige. I bid you good day.
Well, no hard feelings.
Oh. I cherish no animosity, but the next time I engage an orchestra for one of my clients, I shall take great pleasure in recommending Mr. Abe Mosenthal.
Abe Mosenthal? Well, that's not an orchestra. That's a backyard band.
They will take my word for its tone.
You win. Such a technique. Maybe we're related?
Harry Gould's office? Let me speak to Mr. Gould, please. Harry, this is Joy Stanhope.
Oh, hello, Miss Joy. Congratulations on your coming out party.
Is Chris back yet? Can't you hear me? I said, is Chris Hansen back from Chicago yet? Well, when I phoned yesterday, they said you were expecting him today.
Well, Miss Joy, it's still today, isn't it? I promise you will be back in time to play for your party tonight.
All right. Goodbye.
Look out for the Smilax. Look out for the Smilax. Now, boys, don't bruise the orchids. Don't bruise the Have you no aesthetic sense? Get down. Give me that orchid. A swag should be no longer than its tassel. You know that. And a bruised orchid loses its personality. Thank you.
Are you hurt?
Well, I'm slightly bruised, but I'll carry on. Get back to your work.
Troon speaking.
Troon, hasn't Mr. Stanhope arrived yet?
I phoned the airport not long ago, but the Florida plane is only just due now.
Well, let me know as soon as he gets here. Oh, it's too absurd. Of course, his yacht would go on the rocks just when I need him most. Oh, where is everybody?
Yes, this is Nora.
Nora, is Miss Joy dressed?
She will be in just a minute, ma'am.
Well, tell her she must be ready on time.
Baby, you must dress. Oh, I don't know what's come over you these last few days. You don't seem to take any interest in anything. Not even your own party. Baby, the musicians are coming.
Where is the captain of detectives? Oh, Briggs. There will be expert crashers attempting to get in tonight. I shall want your strongest men with me.
I'll give you the flower of the force, Miss Vanderdoe. Cone, Murphy.
This is Mr. Murphy. Mr. Cone. Quite satisfactory.
Madame, send me to make you hurry, mademoiselle.
Thank you, mademoiselle. We don't need your help.
It's all right, Nora. Tell Mother I'm going to see Harry Gold about the numbers.
Hello, Miss Joy.
Harry. Harry, isn't Chris back yet?
I haven't heard from him, but he should be here now. He made a big hit in Chicago. Say, I hope they don't keep him there.
Keep him? Oh, they couldn't. He's got to come back.
Miss Joy, what's the matter? Did you and Chris have a little spat?
I don't know what to do. Who to go to?
Why not go to Harry? I'm a pretty good wailing wall.
I couldn't tell you, Harry, nor anybody.
Miss Joy. What is this?
Oh, Harry. Oh.
Well, don't worry. I'll bring Chris back if I have to go after him myself.
No, it isn't there. Chris didn't run away. I just couldn't ride him.
They never invented anything better than marriage. Give it a try.
But what about Mother? I couldn't just run off and it'd kill her. Oh, she was different. She and Father were only different.
Miss Joy, these blue books and ancestors and family trees, they don't mean a thing. Forget all this hooey that you've been brought up on. You love Chris, take him. Maybe it'll be kind of bad with your family for a while, but they'll get over it, and it'll hurt them lots less than losing him would hurt you, because they're only in love with some plans that they've made. And you, well, kid, you're really in love. Now then.
Mrs. Stanhope wishes to see you at once, Mr. Gold, about the music.
Tell her I'll be right down.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now, don't worry. Everything's going to be all right. As soon as Chris comes, I'll let you know. Now, come on. Smile. You got to get downstairs. I got to go and see your mother. Smile. That's right.
Oh, June, any further news from Mr. Stanhope?
He's on his way from the airport, madam. And all the preparations for the party are now complete, madam.
Magnificent. Magnificent. Congratulations, Ada. So few modern homes are fit for entertaining nowadays. Oh, how I wish dear Mrs. Astor were here tonight.
You don't know what I've been through. No. It's just been too exhausting. I never let anyone else handle a single detail. I insist upon doing everything myself.
Mr. Stanhope's arrived, madam.
Oh.
True. Where's Roger?
He's waiting in your room, sir.
Oh, Ada, a wretched time. How do you do? I say a wretched time. I wouldn't have gone to Florida if I'd known how I'd suffer. Betsy cracking on the rocks. I assure you, Ada, I cried like a baby.
Can't you forget that vile yacht for 1 minute on the night of your daughter's coming out party?
But you
I'm
don't...
just going to have a peep at the ballroom.
Well, I've got to dress.
I've got the most marvelous news. You won't believe it.
Oh, Chris, I want to tell you something.
Not a word about anything before you hear what happened in Chicago. Now wait a minute. And listen to this. Chris Hansen, with violin and camera, is about to invade the capitals of Europe.
What?
Oh, listen, Joy, I knew you couldn't believe it. I couldn't myself at first. But here are his words.
Whose words, darling?
The agent who came for me. I'm to make a concert tour with Maitza, the great operatic star. Do you hear that? Chris Hansen and Maitza booked for a tour of Paris, London, Vienna, Budapest, and points east.
You're... Oh, Chris, it's too marvelous.
It's much more marvelous than that, my sweet. It's the chance of a lifetime. And when I come back...
When you come back?
Darling, you will wait for me, won't you? This is a chance I may never get again.
A chance you may never get again.
Darling, do you realize what this means? It means fame, money, recognition, a chance to study further, to build a future. To build a future that you'll be proud to share. How'd you like to be Chrysler's wife? Or Heifetz?
Well, how long are you going to be gone?
About a year, I'm afraid. And I have to sail tonight on the Ile-de-France. Oh, but I'll write you every hour, and when I get back, we'll never be separated again. Never. Say you'll wait for me. Say you'll wait until I'm a success. Say, Chris, I'll wait for you, and I'll think of you 12 times a day. And once between meals. Come on, say it.
12 times a day and once between meals. Because I love you so much more than people are ever supposed to.
Don't cry, honey. Honey, I've got to run. They're waiting in a taxi below.
Honey, are you going to kiss me, or are you?
I am not.
It's all right, mister. It can wait.
True. Where's Harry Gold?
Mrs. Tennant sent for him, sir. He's with her.
Oh. I can't wait. I've got to pack. I'm Chris Hansen.
I know that, sir.
And will you tell Harry Gold that I'm sailing tonight on the Ile-de-France? Concert tour of Europe.
Europe, sir? Tonight?
Yes. Tell him I'll write him everything.
Very good, sir.
And thanks, True.
That's all right, sir.
Come in.
Your father would like to see you, miss.
Don't be so nervous, baby. It's only a party. And listen, Lammy, if you don't mind, I'm going to peek over the railing and watch you receive.
All ready, honey?
Coming, Daddy.
Well. Rabbit, I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you, Daddy.
Baby, you forgot your bouquet.
No,
Joy, dear, what kept you so long?
Sorry, Mother.
Some of the guests have already arrived.
Well, it's Mr. Hamilton.
Oh, good evening, my dear. I'm so happy to see you.
How do you do? How do you do? How do you do?
Good evening. Nice to see you. I'm sure.
How do you do?
Miss Manoy and Mr. Veller.
Miss Benoit, nice to see you. How do you do?
How do you do?
Dudley James.
How do you do?
Thank you, Dr. Aerosmith.
How do you do, Miss Brooks? Stand up. How do you do?
Miss Dudley, nice to see you, I'm sure.
How do you do?
How do you do? Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening, Joe.
Good evening. Good evening.
How do you do?
Did you ever see so many stars?
Yonder's all that remains of the gobbler girl that won the blue ribbon at the horse show.
Didn't you used to take her out?
Yeah. And the next time I'll take out the horse.
Your name?
Never give my name.
And you're out of luck.
We'll see about that.
That's all right. That's Mr. Wolverton.
Sorry, sir.
Oh, say, dearing Postmaster General, you should know by now it won't keep the Wolverton from the door.
Good evening, Miss Simmons.
Hello, Jimmy.
Hello, Jimmy. Glad to see you.
Glad to see you, I'm sure. Well, don't wear your hand out before I get a chance to hold it. Mind if I cut the first official caper, Mrs. Stanhope?
She's been saving her first dance for you, Jimmy.
How about it?
All right.
Anything the matter with Joyce? She seems upset.
She's excited. She's thrilled.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry, old man. Great party, Joyce.
It's a great party, Joy.
Sorry, old man. My dance. It's a great party, Joy. Sorry, Timmy.
Hello, Bobby.
Hiya, Jimmy.
I think you're wonderful. I think you're grand. I think it's wonderful to hold your hand. The things you do to me are all so new to me. Since fate brought you to me, my future's planned. Each time I dance with you, I get a thrill. I find romance with you. I always will. I think the moon is nice. The stars are nice. taunt, when you smile, you're a captivating sight. When you pout, even then your lips invite. When you're dressed at your best, you're a vision to see. Debutante, when you're bored, you've a way of looking smart. When you flirt, you possess a magic art. When you pet, I forget what's good for me. At coming out parties, you reveal a certain charm. As in the garden when we're strolling arm in arm. At bridge or tea with you, I get a thrill. I love to be with you. I always will. I think the moon is nice, the stars are nice, but you, I think you're wonderful. I really do.
Oh, come on, Charlie. Let's get something to drink.
All right.
You get it for me. You're a good tackle, Charlie.
All right. This would be a swell party if you were only here.
Charlie's getting me a drink.
I'll get you 4. Right. Come on, let's ditch the throng. Let's lose ourselves and take a week's supply with us. What?
Am I disturbing you, Mr. Gold?
Oh, not at all. Come in. Have one?
No, thanks. Mr. Hanson tried to see you before I left. He told me to tell you he's sailing for Europe for a concert tour on the Ile de France tonight.
Tonight? Europe? Am I crazy?
No, sir. He barely had time to pack and catch the boat. He said he'd write.
He's sailing tonight? And she let him go?
Aye, she did. She's a brave lass.
Oh, is this a Shrek?
I never saw anybody so desperate as she seemed.
You know, I always say New York is what you make it. Now, right at the moment, it's Florida or Bermuda. That's what we want it to be, so that's what it is. Of course, we know that traffic's pulsing on the next block and that there's more smoke in the sky than stars, but just the same, it's what we want it to be. Still, it's New York. Or maybe I'm wrong. What do you think, Oh, come on. No champagne could be that good. You know, this may seem pretty sudden after all these years, but I think I could do things about you.
Swell.
You know, it isn't often I feel this way, but there's something about you tonight. Joy, I could get pretty mad about you.
Could you?
Yeah. Do you mind? Why, I'm in such a weakened condition, I might almost fall in line myself. I'm referring to that archaic condition known as marriage.
Huh?
Joy, in my shy way, I'm proposing to you.
Oh.
You know, I've been everywhere and seen everything. And, a little else besides. There's nothing new or exciting left. Yes, that's my trouble. That's what makes life so hard. Trying to think up anything new. There's one stunt I haven't pulled. No one ever has. I've never eloped with a debutante the night of her debut. Carried her off from every other stag. Oh, what a howl that would make. That'd shake Park Avenue. How the dowagers would fall into their breakfast trays over that. Are you game, Joy? Joy, are you game?
Oh, Jimmy,
Oh, come on. We can make running from back in my car before the party's over.
Jimmy, there's something I want to tell
Oh,
you.
forget it.
Jimmy,
Spur of the moment, Wolverton has never been known to think twice.
Jimmy,
This'll
I've got
turn your
to-
coming out party upside down. Come on, boy, can you see their faces? It's okay, nobody saw us. Boy, wait till I get a load of this.
Well, my young friend, in 5 days of the continent, you will like Europe. You think that is the name of a place, eh? No, I will tell you. Europe is the name of 20 million beautiful women. Luscious, white-skinned Swede, fiery French, Italians, Viennese. Ah, yes, my young friend. And Europe appreciates music and musicians.
I'll give you a number of Mr. Chris Hanson's cabin.
Mr. Hanson? 210B, sir.
210B. Thank you.
Pardon me, sir, but you can't get through there.
That's all for visitors as sounded, sir.
I'm going to see Mr. Chris Hanson.
Can I take the message?
No, I'm taking the message myself.
Pardon.
I'm afraid you don't quite realize who I am. The British Embassy, Washington.
I didn't get the name, sir.
The name I'm on is Sir Robert Troon.
Pardon. Certain. Permission spéciale.
Hey, pull yourself together. We got work to do. The Debs flew the coop.
What's that you'll be saying, O'Hara?
Go get her.
You mean to say that with a house full of detectives, my daughter walked out and no one saw her go? What did we hire you for?
You hired us to watch who got in. We don't know nothing about who got out.
We've searched every foot of the house. She can't be found anywhere.
What a week. First my boat and then my daughter.
It would be first your boat.
I want you to find her. At once.
Quiet! Have you heard the news? What news? Joy's eloped with the butler.
I don't blame her. I've always had my eye on Troon. Me too.
I got my man.
What?
I got young Hanson off the boat, sir.
Oh, now we are on a spot.
In a spot? Why? Didn't I tell you I'd get him?
Yeah, that was then. This is now. Jimmy and Joy are missing.
What's that?
Gone. Disappeared. Vanished.
Miss Joy and Jimmy Wolverton?
Miss Joy and Jimmy Wolverton.
Helen, isn't it thrilling? Joy's been abducted by gangsters.
Nothing like that ever happens to me.
Cheer up, old girl. I'll see what I can do about it.
Hey, look, we've done it.
Hey, give us a good old laundry.
Congratulations.
What do you think about it?
I expect we'll have to forgive her.
I propose a toast to the bride and groom.
Congratulations. I'm sorry not to have been the first to congratulate you.
What's he doing? Who let him in? Why, you were so full of your own plans, your own ambitions, your own big, stupendous future that you couldn't even listen to what she had to tell you. You didn't give her a chance to tell you, did you? Did you?
Shut up, Harry.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who could the kid go to? Her mother's drunk with class consciousness, and the father's demented over yachts. She's got two friends in the whole world. One is a Scotch butler, and the other is a Jewish jazz plugger.
Take her out of that house if I have to tear it down.
Atta boy. A Scotchman, a Swede, and me. What a trio.
Winston, in all your experience as my family lawyer, have you ever heard anything to equal it? A fiddler. A low-down fiddler in a cheap orchestra.
So you haven't paid Harry Gould's bill yet, or you wouldn't call it cheap.
Mr. Chris Hansen to see you, sir.
I gave you orders never to admit that fellow to the house again.
I'm aware that I've exceeded my instructions, and I'm quite prepared to take the consequences. I tender my resignation. But before I go, I should like to say just one thing. Not in the capacity of your butler, but in the capacity of a friend of Miss Joy's. It is absolutely imperative for her very life and happiness that you see this young man, and see him now. And I sincerely hope, sir, that you will try to understand an emotion that up to now you've only used in connection with boats. Mr. Hansen, sir. I wish you good day, sir.
Mr. Stanhope, I've got to see Joy.
Quite impossible. The doctors have forbidden Mrs. Wolverton to see anyone.
Mrs. Wolverton's had a complete collapse.
And as soon as my daughter is well enough to be moved, her husband is taking her away.
Oh, is he? Well, Jimmy Wolverton is not Joy's husband.
Eh?
You're an attorney. You know how easily marriages like theirs can be annulled.
What do you mean?
Son, I wouldn't be too hasty.
Winston, if you don't mind, will you leave us? Now, what exactly do you mean?
If you weren't so blind to everything around you, you'd know what I mean.
Get out. Get out!
I'm staying here until I see Joy, and I'm not leaving until she goes with me.
Why,
Just a minute.
I wouldn't hit him.
Seems very odd to me that you should be taking this fiddler's part.
I think I've got something to say in the matter. I'm Joy's husband. Perhaps us being our husbands made me do some deep thinking these past few hours. My head hurts, but I rescued one idea. Joy loves this man. And it isn't up to you or Winston or Mrs. Stanhope or me. It's up to Joy to decide her own future. I probably would have made a rotten husband anyway.
You understand she's in a very nervous condition. Let me see her for a moment.
Joy. It's Chris, Joy.